Welcome to my NFL Week 4 predictions. Last week, I went a pretty decent 10-6. Not the best, but not the worst. Not 8-8 like Week 1. But I did it again. I said on my video last week that the Bengals were going to win, but I accidentally put the Vikings on my pick'em. So, oh well, we'll count the Vikings win. It'll make up for Week 2 that I messed up. And with that score, I am now 30-18 and tied for 4th in our Pick'em League. But enough with that. You don't care. Let's get to the picks. I'm going to try to get this done quick because I have about an hour before I need to feed the baby and go to bed. So it's currently Wednesday, the day before the game. So I'm going to try and get this video recorded and get it edited tomorrow. And get it out right before the game, hopefully, and before I start streaming tomorrow. So, game number 1 on Thursday will be the Seattle Seahawks taking on the Arizona Cardinals. The Seahawks are coming off a massive win over the Saints, 44-13, and the Cardinals are coming off a heartbreaking defeat to the 49ers, 16-15. Both teams being 2-1, I see this being a pretty close match. However, like last week, I see Marvin Harrison Jr. dropping a few key catches, and it'll prevent a Cardinals win. Seahawks are going to win 28-24. Next up, we got the Minnesota Vikings taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers in Dublin. This game is going to be at 8:30 in the morning for me. So fuck that. I'm not watching that game. And it's another pair of 2-1 teams. The Vikings with their backup quarterback, Carson Wentz, kicked the shit out of the Bengals 48-10. It was embarrassing. I actually dropped Jamar Chase. I traded him after that because he did like 8 points. He's been pretty mediocre this season in fantasy. But who cares? And the Steelers got a 21-14 win against the Patriots. And this is Aaron Rodgers taking on the Vikings, so I think he's going to go to MVP form to bully them. Well, it won't really be bullying, but the Steelers win 31-21. Next up, we got the Commanders taking on the Atlanta Falcons. The Commanders with their backup QB, Marcus Mariota. Is it Mariota or Mariota? I think I've heard the pronouncer say Mariota, so I'm going to say Mariota. They dominated the Raiders 41-24 to improve to a 2-1 record. Meanwhile, the Falcons got dominated by my Panthers 30-0 to drop to 1-2. The Falcons are going to want to come back after that embarrassment. However, even if Daniels is still out, the Commanders are going to win 36-14. The LA Chargers taking on the New Jersey Giants. The Chargers won a nail-biter against the Broncos 23-20 to improve to an unbeaten 3-0. And the Giants, they got beat up by the Chiefs to drop down to 0-3, 22-9. And I believe this is Jackson Dart's first NFL start. With that being said, the Chargers win 31-6. I don't think he's going to get a touchdown. It's going to be upsetting for Giants fans, if there's any left in the world. Next up, we got the Tennessee Titans going against the Houston Texans. Both these teams being 0-3, surprising for the Texans, I feel like. They lost to the Jags 17-10. And the Titans, they got destroyed by the Colts 41-20. The Texans, they don't feel like an 0-3 team. All their losses have come they've come against teams with winning records. The Jags are 2-1, the Rams are 2-1, and the Buccaneers are 3-0. So I think the Texans will win a big win for them, 24-12, sorry. Next up, we got the Philadelphia Eagles taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Game of the week, I think. This one's going to be game of the week. Well, maybe. It's going to be between this game and another game. These are both 3-0 teams, so we're going to see two undefeated teams duke it out, and one of them will lose. I know, shocking. Unless it's a tie, then whatever. The Eagles had a crazy comeback to defeat the Rams 33-26 and end their 2-0 undefeated streak. The Bucs gave their fans heart attacks against the Jets after a blocked field goal. However, they did come back to get a field goal to win 29-27. Like I said last week, though, the Eagles, they haven't really been impressive. They haven't amazed me this season. So I'm going to say the Bucs win a close one, 27-23. And now that I look at that score, I don't think this is going to be game of the week. I think it'll come later on. Maybe. We'll see. The Carolina Panthers taking on the New England Patriots. I was wrong. I should have believed in the Panthers. I know. Shocker. I do this every time. They are coming off a dominant 30-0 victory against their division rivals Falcons to improve to a 1-2 record. It's fantastic. Meanwhile, the Patriots lost to the Steelers 21-14 to also become 1-2. I don't want to get hurt by picking the Panthers, but I'm still riding high after that last week, and they did look good against the Cardinals at the end of that game. So I will say the Panthers win 21-10. I don't make me regret that, Carolina. Bryce. Next up, we got the New Orleans Saints getting... All right, I'll wait. The New Orleans Saints taking on the Buffalo Bills. Now you see why I waited. The Bills had a somewhat competitive game against the Dolphins with a 31-21 victory to become 3-0. And the Saints got slaughtered by the Seahawks 44-13 to drop to 0-3. The Bills, they're looking like the best team in the NFL right now. And I don't think it's fair for the Saints. And the next 4 games are just going to possibly set them to 7-0. We'll see if there's an upset. With that being said, the Bills win 52-6. Next up, we got the Cleveland Browns taking on the Detroit Lions. The Browns upset the Packers 13-10 to rise to 1-2. And the Lions, they had a very nice game against the Ravens to win 38-30. It's a fantastic Monday night game. Like I said, game of the week. And they improved to 2-1. And I think these Lions, they are not the same Lions we saw in Week 1 against the Packers. However, the Browns' defense will give them a test, but I don't think it's gonna play out for them. And the Lions win 28-13. The Jacksonville Jaguars are taking on the San Francisco 49ers next. Both teams coming off massive wins. The Jags coming off a 17-10 victory over the Texans to improve to 2-1. And the 49ers winning a nail-biter against the Cardinals, 16-15 to improve to 3-0, surprisingly. I know, that's crazy with their team dead. However, they lost Nick Bosa for the season. George Kittle's still out. I think Brock Purdy is returning, and if he does, I think this is going to be a close game. With the 49ers barely squeaking out a 24-21 victory. I say a field goal wins them this one. Maybe even in overtime. Next up, we got the biggest shocker of the season. The Indianapolis Colts dominating the Texans 41-20 to be 3-0. Now, I'm not saying that game was the biggest shocker. I'm saying the Colts being 3-0 with Daniel Jones. And the Rams choked to the Eagles 33-26 to become 2-1. I think they were up 26-9 at one point in that game. Yikes. Now this is going to be a huge test for the Colts. They have not really faced, I guess the Broncos are a pretty real team. They haven't really faced a real team so far. The Broncos are 1-2, so we can't even say that they're a real team. However, I think Indiana Jones' luck is going to run out, and the Rams win 33-21. Now we got the Chicago Bears taking on the Las Vegas Raiders. The Bears coming off a massive 31-14 victory against the Cowboys to improve to 1-2, and the Raiders got destroyed by the Commanders 41-24 to drop to 1-2. It's weird saying to improve to 1-2 and then to drop to 1-2. It's weird. I don't know. It sounds strange. Ben Johnson may be finally bringing this offense together. So I have high hopes for the Bears going forward. I say that, and I'm going to regret it. The Bears are going to win 24-17, however. And next up, we got possibly game of the week. The Baltimore Ravens taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. These are two 1-2 teams that do not look that are not 1-2 teams. They're just struggling. The Ravens losing a heartbreaker to the Lions 38-30 to be 1-2, and the Chiefs finally winning against the Giants 22-9 to become 1-2. This game, like I said, it looks like shit with these records. However, the Ravens are the highest scoring team in the NFL right now. And I think that the Ravens do win a nail-biter, 34-28. Next up, we got the Atlanta Falcons taking on the... The Green Bay Packers taking on the Dallas Cowboys. The Packers losing an upset to the Browns 13-10 to drop to 2-1. And the Cowboys got stomped by the Bears 31-14 to drop to 1-2. This is Micah Parsons returning to Arlington to take on his old team. And the Packers are looking to bounce back. So I think the Packers dominate and they win a huge one, 35-10. Next up, we got the New Jersey Jets taking on the Miami Dolphins. This is the battle of the bottom feeders. Both teams are a pathetic 0-3. Same with the Texans-Titans game. With the Dolphins losing a surprisingly close one to the Bills, 31-21. And the Jets having a close one against the Bucs to lose 29-27. This game on paper looks really bad, but I think both of these teams are slightly better than their record suggests. And I think the Dolphins win 21-19. I don't think it's going to be a great game. I think it's going to be a game. And finally, on Monday night, we got the Cincinnati Bengals taking on the Denver Broncos. The Bengals, with their backup quarterback Jake Browning, we're not going to talk about it. They got destroyed by the Vikings 48-10 to drop to 2-1. Surprising record for them. Well, no, it's not surprising, but it's surprising with Joe Burrow dying. They're not going to go very farther, I don't think. And the Broncos lost a heartbreaker to the Chargers 23-20 to drop to a disappointing 1-2. The Broncos defense should probably dominate Browning, you would think. And I think that the Bengals will continue to spiral downward, with the Broncos winning a close one 24-17. I think that's 24-17. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next week. Peace.